Well, well, hi there.
We must be live.
So they tell us, or a reasonable facsimile thereof.
Hello.
Hello, I think we have a bit of a lag between us, but that's okay. That's part of the fun of it all, figuring out how all this works as we go along.
From our remote locations.
Right.
You must be
Uh,
Larry Lambert, and I must be David Gans, and we're doing this thing that we call Dead Air. With all due respect to the other radio shows around the country that call themselves Dead Air, we borrowed it for this touring season of Dead and Company. And we're here to introduce the live stream on nugs.net, and also to all of you who are watching this free preview on YouTube or wherever. You can sign up and buy the show and hear it live and or on demand later. And they're also offering subscriptions to nugs.net, which gives you access to the entire library of all Dead and Company shows going back to 2016.
that's right. And of course, we've already covered two shows on this tour, and boy, they've been swell. And we're looking forward to more of the same tonight, maybe even more so because there's something about New York City that tends to bring out the best in these boys, as has long been the case with the Grateful Dead and its descendants.
Yeah, the energy level is much higher back there. It's true. I remember Phil Lesh once told me that the band, that the New York energy, the band can only be as quiet as the crowd will let them be, and that New York audiences were always very demanding of high energy, and the occasion to which they rose frequently and unanimously.
Yes, indeed. And yet I have been at stadium shows in the New York area, Giant Stadium back in the old days, here at Citi Field, where the delicacy of the music was sometimes amazing. They could bring the thing down to a Stella Blue or to a very delicate space. And those were some of the times I admired the Grateful Dead and subsequent bands the most, when they were not just playing to the far bleachers, but really pulling the audience in with nuance and all that. This is a strange experience for me because we are about 10 or 15 minutes from my home. The show is happening. It would usually be inconceivable for me not to be at a show at Citi Field, as Wallace Shawn said in The Princess Bride. Inconceivable. But the fact is, um, I'm doing this instead because the COVID protocols and everything make it kind of impractical to try to do a live feed from the venue. So this will be a little surreal for me. They are playing really on hallowed ground because um, right next door to Citi Field was Shea Stadium, uh, site of several life-altering experiences in my life. Of course, the 1969 Miracle Mets, but even more so, in 1966, I saw the Beatles there. And
Wow.
so that means a lot to me. And then just down the way, just a short walk across the old New York World's Fairgrounds, was a place called the New York State Pavilion, which turned into a rock venue. And I saw two life-altering Grateful Dead shows there back in 1969, just when I was really taking the plunge from which I have not yet returned into Deadheadism. So that area means a lot to me. The Dead's relationship with New York has been absolutely intertwined with my own experience. It's where I first encountered the band. It's where I saw a whole bunch of my first shows before I moved out to California. About 6 or 7 years worth of shows before I moved out west. So I accumulated a lot of Grateful Dead shows at Fillmore East, the Capitol Theater in Portchester, various venues around the area. And like I said, the band and that city have always had a really special relationship, and it has continued through to Dead and Company, playing at Madison Square Garden, playing various other venues in the area, and at Citi Field. The last time they played there, you might recall, I think it was the last time, uh, John Mayer came on stage with Jerry Garcia's Wolf guitar, and they opened that show with St. Stephen, and you've seldom heard a place go quite that nuts. And the rest of the show,
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty damn impressive. And given the way the band has played in these first two shows, I think they're going to bring it tonight. We are doing what's called in the trade vamping, by the way, because we are never sure exactly when the band is going to get on stage. We understand that they are taking a little longer to make sure that people are getting into the venue in as timely a fashion as possible, since they are checking for vaccination proof and things like that.
Right.
And that may be a cumbersome process. They are encouraging people to show up early. I think they're opening the gates a little earlier than they might for other shows, and we hope they can make that happen smoothly. I think the band is almost ready to go, but in the meantime, we'll be here with you. And once again, telling you that we'll be back at halftime. We are having special guests on for every broadcast. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Rex Foundation a whole lot, a cause we are hugely supportive of. Of course, it got its birth in the Grateful Dead, and we'll be talking a lot about their good works. And we'll be speaking with Cameron Sears, executive director of the Rex Foundation, a longtime associate of the band, and we look forward to that. And we, of course, encourage you to support the Rex Foundation in any way you can, either through donation or volunteerism. That's part of the concept of participation row at the shows. If you go to a show, there's this area that is a little home to nonprofits, especially the Rex Foundation and Headcount, but local ones in each town they go to as well. And you can go help out, volunteer, sign documents pledging your help. And it's a really wonderful experience, and it underscores the spirit of community that has always surrounded the Grateful Dead and the Deadheads. So we encourage that mightily.
And we should talk a little bit about the music too. Having seen two shows already on this tour, I really feel like the band hit the ground running. They clearly were prepared for this, and they were all in the mood to play. And we've just heard, it's just been great. The sound is terrific. The mix is great. We should also mention to people that are looking at this free sample that the live stream on Nugs is available in 4K this year for the first time, for those who have the super high-end visuals, and it's in HD for everybody else anyway. And as Gary said, we're going to do this little live schmoozing thing in between sets. And what else can we tell you?
Well,
Sirius
once again,
XM is go ahead.
All right. No, yeah, mention that. That's a good thing to point out. Go ahead.
Yeah. SiriusXM is offering a VIP Platinum subscription that includes all of SiriusXM plus a selection of Nugs.net's catalog. And Nugs has been archiving and distributing live music performances for many, many years now, and their lineup is huge. So they got this huge Bruce Springsteen archive. They've got Pearl Jam. They've got. Do they have Fish too, or is that a separate entity?
They've got Fish.
Fish is all.
They've got some Wilco, another of my favorite bands. It's a really impressive lineup of stuff, and a little something for every taste. And they've got stuff from festivals. We're told the house lights are down, so it's time to go. That wasn't too bad, was it? We'll see you at the break. No. Enjoy the show, everybody.
to me. It felt this way since I don't know when. And I don't know when I'm ever gonna feel this way again. So come on, get in the groove and let the good times roll. We're gonna stay here till we soothe our soul. If it takes all night long. But come on and let the good times roll. We're gonna stay here till we soothe our soul. If it takes all night long.
It might be 6 o'clock and it might be 8. It doesn't matter that it's getting late. We're gonna make the band with another song. Get in the groove and dip it all night long.
Get in the groove and let the good times roll.
We're gonna stay here till we soothe our soul.
If it takes all night long. But come on and let the good times roll. We're gonna stay here till we soothe our soul. If it takes all night long.
Get in the groove and let the good times roll. We're gonna stay here till we soothe our soul. If it takes all night long.